Hello everybody on YouTube. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to wear your NATO strap. And I can't believe I have to make this video because I don't know how after all of these years that, all these people who praise these things and tell you about their security features and all that stuff, how they can all be wrong with how they tell you to wear it. And I don't know how they've been getting away with it for so long. So today we're going to be talking about the NATO strap, specifically this one. Not this one, because this is not a NATO strap. And yeah, right, so here you got your regular two-piece strap, right? It attaches by two spring bars. They go into the watch, like that. And then if one of these spring bars just happens to break, that watch is gone. Okay? Here, you have a one-piece strap, okay? These spring bars go through these pieces here, and they attach to the watch, right? So in case one of those spring bars fails, the watch, it'll fly around on there like this, but it'll still be attached. There's a third part, right? There's another point of connection for the watch to your wrist, and that is the buckle. Okay, the buckle is what attaches it to your wrist. Obviously, I don't know why I gotta tell you that. Like that. Okay. What happens when your buckle fails, right? Well, your buckle fails, oh, there goes the watch. Doesn't matter if the spring bars are still good. The watch is gone because your buckle failed. Okay, because this buckle is just held in by another spring bar. This buckle, hey, it doesn't have a buckle. That's weird. Right? That's where the NATO strap comes in. Okay. This buckle is a one-piece buckle. It is not held in by a spring bar. It is just one piece. And it can break. So can this. This stupid thing can break. Right? So you got this little flap here, right? This extra flap. And the problem with this is everybody tells you how to put this thing on wrong. They tell you, you put it in through your 12 o'clock. Alright, you pull it out through your 6 o'clock. Alright. Then you do this, you feed it through there. You pull that tight-ish, whatever. I don't really care right now. It's not that important. Because I don't wear it like this, because that's wrong. So you do this. Right, and then you put the watch on, right, and then you feed it through those two loops there, and then they tell you to tuck in all that excess stuff in the back like that, and there you go. There's your NATO strap with this dumb little thing hanging off the side of it, right? This is the incorrect way to wear your NATO strap, and you should 100% not do that because you look like a tool. So, take this back off, right? Undo this. Pull this down just a bit to about where the spring bar is about above that first hole. You don't have to go that far. You can go as far as you want. Depends on how you like to wear it. Okay. This thing has a purpose. Okay. If we did it the way that they showed you how to do it, like this, you are taking its purpose away because it no longer does what it's supposed to do. This thing is to secure the watch to your wrist if your buckle breaks. Okay, your buckle, if it breaks and is no longer there, that is what this is for. Okay, so you pull it down like I showed you, you put the watch on, right, you feed it through this loop. Oh, hey, look at that. It's made a loop around your wrist, right? That's crazy. And then you feed it through here, the buckle, right? You get it on there, as tight as you want. You lock it down. Eventually it works. I'll wear it a little loose. There you go. Then you feed it through both these loops. Like that. And then do not, and I repeat, do not put the excess behind like that. Do not do that. Okay? But you'll notice, you know, you don't have this weird bulk thing here. You don't have it here, depending on how you put it on, right? But you don't have it here. Okay? It's now on the bottom of your wrist, where it's supposed to be. Okay? And I said before, don't tuck that behind like that. No, you feed it back through the front like this. You feed it back through the front. Okay? So yeah, you'll see. No bulk, right? No weird fucking thing hanging off here, right? It's now on the bottom. And you'll be asking, like, why'd you feed it back through the front like that? And it's, you know, a really simple thing, okay? This little tab here, this little bit that sticks out, when you do it like this, you just pull it and the whole thing comes undone, just like that. Now, why would it be designed like that? Well, that's because, you know, for whatever reason in World War I, if you were, you know, injured and they needed to take your watch off, that's how they took your watch off, because it was simple. Okay? But anyway, back to the main point. If your buckle fails on this or these, right, there's nothing you can do. If the buckle fails, right, well, what do you do now? It just, you know, it doesn't loop. That's what this is for. You loop it on there, right? You pull it tight. Alright, and I still have the buckle, obviously, so we're just going to not put it through the buckle. And we're going to put it through those two loops. It's a little bit more difficult when you don't use the buckle, but, you know, it's in the event you don't have the buckle anymore. So you get it as tight as you can, because it's not going to be tight because you don't have the buckle. And you just feed it back through like before. Actually, in this case, you could probably tuck it behind, because it'd probably be better. And you just tuck it in there, you know. And this little bunched up piece here will not come through here. Right? And now it's secure on your wrist. You know, it's not as tight as it should be, but, you know, you don't have a buckle. But look, now it's secured to your wrist. It goes everywhere, you know, it does everything. It's not moving. It's not coming off. And it still has that ability, right? Bam. That's how you wear a NATO strap.